All right, welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control, now offering a brand new service, crawl space encapsulation. Lower humidity and access mean insects, termites, and rodents are less likely, not to mention the fact it cuts down on mold and mildew in your home. And it just looks better. I wouldn't want to go into that crawl space on the left. I prefer the one that's been handled by Southeast Termite and Pest Control over on the right. And of course, right now, mosquitoes are starting to buzz around out there. If you're wanting to get rid of mosquitoes in your yard, call Southeast Termite and Pest Control. They have all kinds of different treatment plans. You can do it one-time treatment, 2 times, weekly, monthly, they do it all. Southeast Termite and Pest Control, that's the group I use. You should too. Okay, kind of a quick segment here. The running back room has seen its top 2 guys from last year depart, one for Oklahoma, one for North Carolina. The receiver room is filled with much hyped newcomers last year who didn't set the world on fire. I don't know that that was their fault, coordinator fault, head coach fault, quarterback fault, whatever.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah, they didn't live up to the hype last year. Vince, you're still optimistic about some of the, as of yet, unproven talent over there around the quarterback position.
Yeah, like what we've seen for the running backs. I mean, everyone at every turn, player, coach, has complimented Jabari Small.
Yeah. He didn't go yesterday, but
didn't see him yesterday. Also, Leonard Whitehead, who a lot of people think should move to linebacker. He was in a black jersey, wasn't participating, but he's another really big body with potential. But I really like Dee Beckwith. Beckwith was running over people, looked a lot looser, and then his size would indicate. We didn't get a chance to really see Tyon Evans either, and he is so put together in the lower body. I think he's got really good potential. The coaches have talked about him also, and I really like Jalen White. He's probably a freshman. He's probably one that might have maybe that breakaway speed that they could use. So they have a variety of different backs in that group. I think there's some really good potential in that bunch.
What about the wideout?
Wideouts, I think, too. Cedric Tillman has had a really nice camp. He made a great catch in the corner of the end zone last night. Velus Jones, obviously, is a solid, experienced guy. Jimmy Callaway looks like a natural pass catcher. Now, he did have a couple of drops, but he made some really nice catches, and he's one of the top candidates for the return game as well. And then Walker Merrill, who's a freshman, he really showed out and made some nice catches also.
He's getting a lot of credit for being a really precision route runner.
Yes.
Which in this offense could be.
Yeah, don't forget Jalen Hyde.
Yeah, we really haven't seen it. He was limited also as well. So I do think it's not the best wide receiver group in the country, but I think there's some talent to work with in that bunch.
Okay, let's talk a little bit. Vince touched on the running backs. I also, and specifically, you mentioned Dee Beckwith. Mm-hmm. I think we have some video of the running backs as well. But Beckwith, 6'5". I mean, he came in as a receiver. Now he's at running back. In terms of 6'5" running backs, you know, Jalen Hurd was 6'4", and he's no longer playing running back in the NFL. But Derrick Henry, only 6'3". All right, you go back through UT lists. Eddie George was 6'3". If you go back to UT, little man Stewart, I think, was 6'3". If you think, well, Cordell Stewart's playing running back in the pros, 6'2". 6'5" is a big guy. It's so big it made my voice crack at running back. Will, your thoughts on what they could do, the combination of this offense with a guy like Dee Beckwith 6'5" and the running back spot?
Yeah, I mean, one of the problems this offense, because it's going to go so fast, is substitutions, getting guys in. And, as any defensive coordinator will tell you, they're always looking for, is it 5 wide? What's the set of guys out there? Because we know if it's 5 wide, we got to get another DB out there and take a linebacker out. You have a good situation if Beckwith is a guy that can play wide receiver, but now we're using him as a power running back. Well, all of a sudden you have him out there and you have 4 wide receivers. What does the defensive coordinator decide to do? Is that I need an extra DB to cover all these guys and take the linebacker out? Or do I have to leave the linebacker in and think it's going to be power run with Beckwith behind it? That's the choice they have to make then, and they have to live with. So all of a sudden they're having to sit there and go, which one is this? And because if you take the DB out, Heupel and their team can say, hey, we're going to check to a run game. They only got 2 linebackers. So it puts a team in a hard position when you have a guy that can play either the power run game or be a wide receiver. They're looking at it going, we don't know which personnel group to put out in the field.
Let's hope they do that. I mean, we spent 3 years, we spent 2 years wishing that they would put Hurd and Kamara up on the field at the same time.
Or even like at an H-back type role. Yeah. I would look at that too. I think that would be ideal at 6'5".
Chuck, look, you got to be positive about something on this team. And I would think the only place to really point to, even though it's unproven, would be this area, this skill position.
Yeah.
You should have talent at running back and wide receiver, though it isn't proven. How much are you buying into it, though?
Well, I mean, this like Vince was doing that rundown, and you look at some of the recruiting success you've had. These are the positions where you've had that success, and for whatever reason you haven't been able to generate the results of the production. Well, now the opportunity's there, and we always hear coaches talk about getting our playmakers on the field. All right, well, let's do it.
Well, at a wide receiver, they're going to be 3 wide, 4 wide in Will's situation, maybe 5 wide. Now, some of that could be running back, tight end, split out. So there'll be a variety of different things, but they're going to spread people out, and they still love the power run. And I think they have some of the skill players to be successful.
And one last name, real quick, T. Hodge. Don't forget about him. He had a really nice run up the middle, and I think he still can bring a lot of things to this team.
All right, when we come back, let's talk about the linebacker. We've talked about kind of the positives. Now let's go all the way to the other side. The linebacker position is dire at the moment. They're going to get some bodies back, but at the moment, not good. We'll discuss what was available yesterday, and then we'll look at the defense overall, which not really a surprise, but it's been struggling early these first 8 practices. So we'll get on that next. Come on back on the Sports Source.